Hey everybody, it's Glenn back in this video with the Star Wars Black Series Ahsoka Tano, which if you're not a watcher of the Clone Wars or Rebels animated series, you might be like, Ahsoka who now? So allow me to make sure we're all on the same page as I read from the bio on the packaging back. Anakin Skywalker's apprentice? Yeah, I know, because he always seemed like a trustworthy, reliable fellow to entrust the tutelage of a Padawan, right? Ahsoka Tano left the Jedi Order before it was destroyed during Order 66. They're conveniently explaining how she appears in the Clone Wars animated series set between the second and third of the prequel movies, yet absent in the third movie. She would re-emerge years later as Fulcrum, a leader in the fledgling rebellion against the Empire. And a later version is what we get here, with this being based on how she appears in the Star Wars Rebels animated series. Unlike the Clone Wars one, which as I said is set within the time frame of the prequels, Rebels instead is set just a few years before A New Hope. So she's all grown up now. And now she's a full-grown woman, they've decided that'd be the appropriate time to fully clothe her, unlike back when she was 14 during the Clone Wars, when Lucasfilm, in conceiving her as a positive role model for young girls, felt it was appropriate to style her in a miniskirt and tube top, and later a boob window. Yet that's not even my biggest complaint with the character, that being just how flippin' annoying she was. Nicknaming Anakin Sky Guy made me want to frankly insert barbecue skewers into both my ears every time I heard her say it. Clearly designed to make Star Wars young and hip, they stopped just shy of her being able to use her lightsaber as a selfie stick. But, to the show's credit, they did correct course, and after an initial stumble, to my shock, I found her tremendously endearing. And that wasn't just me, as quite a cult of fans have formed around her, which has made her debut figure in the 6-inch Black Series a hot seller. And in my opinion, it's worthy of that heat. I like the rendering of her costume in mixed media with the fabric underskirt and the vinyl piece over it, and likely accidental but a happy one in my opinion, that layering gives her in profile some junk in the trunk, adding to her womanly proportions. Taking a closer look, and I like how the deco captures the various patterned markings of her species. As for the face sculpt, with her being an animated character rendered here in a live action style, it gives a little room to stylize the expression, not that it's exaggerated, as in fact it's quite neutral, yet it doesn't suck the joy from me the way looking at many Star Wars Black Series face sculpts do with their dead-eyed lifelessness. Now looking at articulation, and her being an alien with a trio of head tails, two trailing in front of her shoulders and one behind her back, does seriously limit the rotation of her head, but she is able to look down slightly, but not really up. At the shoulder, her arms rotate and they move up to just about a right angle to her body. There's rotation at the elbow and effectively also a single hinge. Then at the wrists, her hands rotate and these are also hinged, moving down and up. Her armoured chest piece there is hiding a diaphragm joint which rotates side to side, and then it's able to crunch a tiny bit forward and, well, a tiny bit back. Owing to her skirt at the hips, her legs are quite inhibited in moving in every direction, yet there is upper leg rotation followed by a double jointed knee. Then at the ankles, her feet are hinged and she does have that ankle rocker pivot that I love, but owing to the sculpt of the boot surrounding the feet, it does inhibit the pivot you can get out of them. Plus the sculpt of her feet with heels combined with a top heavy head, making her tricky to stand, and now I say that she decides to stand. Looking at her lightsaber accessories, and in design the blades of these are supposed to be colourless, but compared to Luke's, while nowhere near as blue as his, they do have a sky blue tint to them. And the hilts of them are supposed to be curved, Hasbro lucking out there as that's often how their lightsaber accessories end up anyway, and the blades do break apart from the hilts, which leads to a nice detail feature that she has. That being, when not in battle, the lightsabers can be hung on the hooks we see there on either side of her hips. A nice detail for sure, but let's see her posed with the lightsabers ready for action. I think she looks really cool. Her and Kanan, also from Rebels, who she was released in the Black Series alongside, are probably my two favourites since Greedo some years back in Series 2. Yeah, you're probably thinking I've got weird taste. Don't judge me. In my opinion, definitely worth picking up, and she makes me look even more excited for when the Black Series Sabine Wren hits, which will bring us one step closer to completing the Rebels crew. And much like the finale of the last season of Rebels, I'll leave Ahsoka locked in battle with her her former master. Did Vader kill her, or does Ahsoka live? Well, at least she does live on in action figure form. Anyway, if you missed my video that pits the farm boy Luke against his Return of the Jedi counterpart, click this video and close your eyes and use the Force and let it guide you to hit that thumbs up button. And I hope to see you all next time. Bye.